Hello again everybody, I hope you are doing very well. The glasses are back on because we're going to be looking at some more newly released football shirts. We've looked at the K-League last week and I think it's time now we look at MLS. The MLS season is beginning once again and all of the shirts have finally been released. And I know a lot of them have been doing the rounds on social media because there are some really nice designs, but I think if we look at all of them, we might see if any of them have sort of gone under the radar, so to speak. Now, bear in mind that with MLS football and their shirts, they carry across for 2 seasons, so you're only going to see one from each of the teams mentioned here, apart from, of course, Charlotte FC. It's their inaugural season, so they will, of course, have a home and an away shirt. Now, a lot of these shirts get given sort of names to describe the shirt and its sort of connotations. Some of them make sense, and some of them, from my opinion, really don't, so we'll kind of sometimes laugh or ignore some of these titles. Anyway, we'll just work through alphabetically and then we'll see if any of the shirts look really good, any that we might want to add to our collections, and then at the end we can all voice our own opinions. So we'll start with Atlanta United FC, and it's their away shirt that is going to be changed this season, and it's known as the Forest kit because apparently Atlanta is known as the city in the forest. It has this sort of Netherlands 1988 sort of inspired pattern, which is of course a very popular football shirt for football shirt collectors, very historical and important. And I think it looks really good. I like the colours. It's got this green with sort of a white, and it sort of fades in together. I think it's really good. Atlanta, I believe they were the only team last season to pass the threshold to be allowed a third kit. So for third kits to be allowed in MLS football, you have to make 100,000 sales, I believe, and they were the only team to do so, and their third shirt was actually really nice. So we'll see if they're able to do that again once this season. Next we have Austin FC. It's their away shirt, and it's known as the Sentimiento kit. I'm not quite sure what that means, but it's their second season in existence, so they've decided that they're going to change their away shirt, and I think it looks really good. Has this sort of, I don't know, green, minty green colour with the black sort of trims and sort of sponsors. I think it looks really good. It's simple, it's understated, but I think the colour that they've chosen certainly helps. It's not one you see floating around too often, though maybe you might see it later on in this list. Now we'll start with the Charlotte FC. So this is, of course, their home shirt, and it looks like they're going to be using blue and white as their primary colours for their home shirts. The home shirt is known as the Carolina kit because I believe Charlotte is based in North Carolina. I think that's the right Carolina that I've selected there. And then you have the away shirt, which is the one that's been sort of doing the rounds on social media, a little bit more popular. Has this black sort of main body with what is a mint green colour. This shirt is called the Mint City kit, which apparently Charlotte was the first United States city with a mint. So that's kind of cool, and it has this sort of like interesting pattern on the cuffs there. So I think this one will do really well. Next we have Chicago Fire FC, and it's their home shirt that's going to be changed this season, and it's known as the Water Tower kit. So apparently the Water Towers was the only public building to survive, one of only a few public buildings to survive the Chicago Fire in 1871. And yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. There's no sponsor on this one at the moment. I don't know if they're ever going to have a sponsor, but I suppose it makes it easier to see the sort of the embossed style of the water tower along the front. So that's kind of nice. Next we have Club de Foot Montreal, known as Montreal Impact previously, and it's their away shirt that they're changing. And it's if you're looking at this and going, that one looks quite familiar actually, maybe slightly different to something else, you are probably correct, because it is very similar to an Arsenal shirt that was released a few seasons ago. Has this marble effect, but instead of it being red, it is the blue that is associated with Montreal. But I think it's cool. It's not often you see those Montreal shirts in the UK for sale, so maybe we'll see this one. Next we have Colorado Rapids. It's their home shirt, and it's known as, doesn't really have a name I don't think, but it has Mountains of Denver pattern running across the front there, which is kind of cool. And then it also has the Colorado state flag on the back of the shirt. Again, there's no sponsor at the moment. I don't know if there is ever going to be one, but I suppose it makes it easier to see the pattern. But other than that, it kind of is a bit plain, so it's not the most exciting one. Then we have Columbus Crew. It's their home shirt, and it's known as the Gold Standard kit, though to me that's yellow. That looks really yellow. And it's a return to the gold colour as their home shirt, because last season, of course, the home shirt was the sort of grey whitey colour that was a bit criticised by the fans. That's now their away shirt, and this is their home shirt, and also it has their new crest also. So it's it's a return to some stuff, and then also some new stuff thrown in. Now we have DC United home shirt, and this is just a very bland shirt in my opinion. It reminds me of like a Bayer Leverkusen shirt, and those really don't stand out to me either when I'm looking at Bundesliga shirts. I actually have a DC United shirt, and again, it's not the most exciting in the world. I feel like a lot of their shirts are pretty boring. So this is one that would be much lower down the list for me to want to buy. But we have FC Cincinnati, and this is their away shirt, and it's known as the Junta Juvent, which is joined together. I'm not even sure what language that would be, to be honest. And I think it's cool. It's got orange with regards to the body of the shirt. It has these sort of silver trims that are running across there. It's kind of a cool combination. Of course, you've got the blue as well. And then also hidden in is a wavy flag, which are it's a wave pattern which comes from the flag. So I think that's really cool. That's very, very interesting. Now we have FC Dallas. It's known as the Crescendo kit, which is an interesting name because crescendo, of course, is like the loudest part of a song or something like that. And I look at the design and I think, well, it's not the loudest of designs. Like there are crazier designs that will come up in this list. So yeah, I'm not really quite sure where that's going from. The design's cool though. It's interesting. It's I like the horizontal stripes, but I've got 2 Dallas shirts myself, and those particularly don't stand out either. So kind of waiting for something a little bit special from them. Now we have Houston Dynamo. It's their away shirt, and it's known as the Bayou City kit. Apparently that Bayou City is one of their nicknames, and it's inspired by the waterways of the city. I think it's really cool. It has the Adidas template, which I think is that similar sort of one to the Leon 03rd shirt that's been released. Cool set though, sort of black. The silver appears once again, sort of small amounts of orange on the trims. I think it looks really good, and it's got sort of their newer crest as well, so that's very, very nice. Now we have Inter Miami. It's their home shirt, and it's known as a Heartbeat kit. And I think that's because on the cuffs, they have the M for Miami, of course, but they've sort of designed it in a way that it kind of looks like a heartbeat monitor. I think that's a really, really smart way. But of course, most importantly, it's pink. The pink shirt. It's their first time they've ever worn like a full pink shirt, and they have a sponsor, which means I can buy it. Definitely one I'm going to try and buy. I've seen it for sale already, and for some reason there's no sponsor on. It's like, guys, what is going on? We need a sponsor. So as soon as it appears, definitely one that I'll be adding to my collection. Now we have LA Galaxy home shirt. It's known as the City of Dreams kit. It has a quasar style pattern which is running across the cuffs and the neck, which is inspired by the one that's found on the crest. I think it looks pretty good. It's a pretty standard white base that you would expect for the club, but it's clean, it's nice, it's simple, and I think this one would sell very well also. Then we have Los Angeles FC. It's their home shirt, known as the 5-year strong anniversary kit, which makes sense because they've been around for 5 years and they are, well, still exist. I think that's pretty decent. And it has this sort of gold, black art deco style pattern. I mean, black and gold is a colour set that we all know is very, very popular. It does have a centralised logos, which for me is not something that I would necessarily choose, but I think it looks okay. I think it's because of the colour set it helps, and then this design's very unique. So it's definitely one that I would add to my collection if it appeared for a decent price. Now we have Minnesota United FC. It's their home shirt, and it's known as the Minnesota Night kit. I think that becomes because I think usually they're more of a grey and blue, and they've gone for like a sort of a blackish navy colour this time, and it has like really faint white dashed lines running down the front. I think it looks alright. I think the black looks better with the blue than the grey, but that's my opinion. Now we have Nashville SC. This one's known as the Homecoming kit. Not really sure why that's the case. Maybe someone can explain that one to me. The best thing about this shirt, I do like yellow, it's really cool, is the panels running down the sides is a very, very sort of cool, sort of, I think it's a sound wave graphic that runs down the sides. That's very interesting. So that's probably the main feature of this particular shirt. Now we have New England Revolution home shirt. It's known as the Liberty jersey, and it takes inspiration from Boston's Freedom Trail. I don't really know how that comes into this shirt design, but that's what they're saying. And it also features their new crest, which I do really like their crest. This new crest looks really, really good. It's got this cool design, sort of a checkerboard pattern embossed style. It looks fine. It's decent enough. Now we have this New York City FC away shirt, and it's called the Vaults kit. And I think we know why this one's called the Vault kit, because it has this sort of lightning bolt zigzag pattern running down the front. Very, very eye-catching, stands out for sure. Throw on top of that the fact that it's orange, which I think is their first shirt that they've had orange as their predominant colour on an away shirt. I think this one will do very well, and it'll sell quite a lot as well. And then we have New York Red Bulls, their rivals, I guess you would say. It's their away shirt, and it's known as the Un Ritmo, the One Beat kit, which was created to embrace various cultures and communities that support the club. Similar to other ones, I don't quite know how that is shown in this design, but that's what they are saying. I think the design's really cool. Checkerboard pattern with sort of like a brush stroke, sort of way it sort of fades, sort of watercolor style. I think that's really good. I still haven't got one of their shirts. I definitely need to add it to the Red Bull collection. This one is the Orlando SC away shirt, and it's known as the Sunshine Kit, and it's got this beautiful sunset style design graphic running across the front. Of course, it's taken inspiration from the fact that there are apparent endless hours of sunshine in the state. As somebody who's sat there filming this video in the UK, which is probably described right now as a sunny day, whilst also at the same time raining, I must admit I am a little bit jealous to hear about the story behind this shirt. But it's definitely a beautiful shirt, and I'm probably going to try and grab one of these. Also, now we have Philadelphia Union. It's their home shirt, and this one, apparently they've brought back the stripes. So usually they have like a chunky boy running down the centre, or at least they used to do. Now they've got this one, which is offset, sort of runs down through the crest, which I do quite like that. I do appreciate that approach. And it looks really good. Throw on top of the gold sort of trims and the sponsor. I think this is a great, nice little shirt. Now we have possibly the one that's been floating around the most on social media. I know it's got a lot of sort of hype surrounding it. It is the Portland Timbers away shirt, known as the Heritage Rose shirt, and Portland is known as Rose City. It has rose patterns on it, if you didn't see already. Is it pink? Which says pink, pink cream. It's getting close to it at the very least. Yes, I'm going to try and grab this one. It's not often you see roses on a shirt, unless you maybe think of the other football team in Portland, the Portland Thorns, are they called? But it's really cool. Definitely one that I think a lot of us are going to try and grab. Then we have Real Salt Lake. It's known as the Believe kit, which apparently takes inspiration from the 10th anniversary of Brandon Steckernert's Believe anthem. Someone's going to have to explain to me what that means, to be honest, because I don't know specifically what that means with regards to the club. But the shirt's simple, standard. You got your red. I think it's an orange trim, bit of blue floating around. White sponsor actually works really well. It's just a simple, nice kit. Then we have the San Jose Earthquakes away shirt, and it's called the Creator Kit. And I thought, when I heard that, I was like, what are they talking about? But I kind of understand what they're talking about, because again, it's with the side panels, and they have this sort of like pattern running down the side. And what they're saying is there's no kit is going to be the same. It's going to be sort of a repeating pattern, and the kit is going to be sort of cut at random places. So every shirt that gets released is going to have a slightly different design, and I think that's amazing. The fact that you can have a literally unique shirt, I think that's really, really cool. So yeah, that's interesting. Now we have Seattle Sounders FC. It's their home shirt, and it's known as the Legacy Green kit. Apparently it's inspired by a mosaic created by Emerald City fans for the 2019 MLS Cup final. I feel like this shirt's going to be one of those Marmite ones. People are going to like it. People are going to hate it. As I look at it, I think that's definitely a kind of a cool and interesting design that you don't see flowing around. But I also think it doesn't look the greatest. So I don't really know where I sit. I'm kind of on the fence at the moment, but we'll see how it goes. Then we have Sporting Kansas City away shirt. So this is known as the State Line 3.0 kit, whatever that means. There are faint lines in this, and at first I just thought it was like little dashes or sort of, I don't know, shooting stars. But apparently it's the area codes of Kansas and Missouri, so that's where the state lines part comes for the inspiration. I think that actually is quite smart. It's quite good. It's got like little numbers floating across the front there. That's quite nice. It's very simple, quite a classy look as well. Then we have Toronto FC. It's the community kit, but there's no explanation as to why it is the community kit. I mean, I would have thought everything's the community kit. It has two different shades of grey. One is quite a lot darker than the other one. But other than that, there's not really much else to speak about it. I think it actually looks quite cool. It's nice. And then finally, we have Vancouver Whitecaps FC, and it's their away shirt. This is known as the Hoop X This City jersey. I think it's mainly because there's a hoop design on the front here, which is, I think, a returning feature. I like the fact that the sponsor bell fits in the centre of it. And it's fine. It's cool. It's not the most amazing shirt, especially compared to some others, but it's very passable. But that's it. Those are all the shirts. Of course, as the season progresses, you might see a third shirt. There'll be some charity stuff like the Parley shirts and stuff like that. So there'll be those that are being released. But I think, all in all, it's a pretty good selection. There's only a few there that you'd kind of go, I'm not that interested in those, but there's at least 5, 6, 7, 8 that are like, right, we need to really figure out a way to get some of these. So yeah, what do you think? Let me know which are your favourite shirts. If you are somebody who lives in the US and watches my videos, what do you think about the shirts that your club has released? Is it something that you think will sell well, or is it sort of detracting away from what is their standard approach? Anyway, as always, thank you guys for watching my videos. I hope you continue to have a good week, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.